Talk 1380 WAOK. Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
All right, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are having a great Super Bowl, giving you a great debate before the game. Everybody's gathered around. Everybody should be arriving, picking their spot, their favorite seat, and what they want to eat. I hope y'all got the ribs and the chicken. I woke up, my daughter done just broke into the ribs already. We supposed to say that for the Super Bowl. I'm like, why am I smelling ribs? 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to juice and drinking my juice, and she got ribs down there, mac and cheese, because we went over, hooked it up with the tailgaters. Tailgaters had the thing going on, and so we're gonna get our tailgate report here in just a minute as well. But we wanted to, kind of get something a little bit stirring, see what side y'all on. Because see, one part about these tax returns, because the biggest argument you have probably every year about tax return is who's going to file the kids. Is it going to be mommy? Is it going to be daddy? Is we going to, and I probably should have asked that question. We have to get it back. And ask that. But the H&R Block has left the building. But you can still tweet some questions if you want to at DryerBuzz, or either use the hashtag DryerBuzz on WAOK, because the conversation continues before, during, and after the show. But we were talking about a lot today in the spirit of Super Bowl. Remember, we dropped the top 10 athletes, and we asked everybody, well, who's the top athlete making $100 million but zero endorsement, because he don't have no moral fiber to endorse a product, none whatsoever. And we were just asking. We asked the question about like who has good endorsements now. Everybody says pretty much had to create their own branding and their own endorsements. And the same thing we were talking about. Black women are driving this whole television network, but what is Viola Davis? Where are her endorsements? Kerry Washington finally got, the clothing line done after everybody's running out buying everything she's wearing. But, you just don't see it. And Candy Burris has said many a times, black women got to create their own products to endorse. Go ahead and instead of making some of the money, just go ahead and make all the money. I ain't mad at her. But what happens when you got this wealth gap situation going on, and beyond the tax returns, friends with benefits? There's a lot of friends with benefits situations out there. You don't get to file tax returns together. Remember, I said y'all are hurting the wealth gap because you've been living together 20 years, and she or he is filing head of household, and the other person still filing the EZ form. Y'all are hurting the wealth gap, because the wealth gap is based on household, which means you got to get to a point where everybody in your household is somehow recognized. The only way we're going to close this gap, because it's about numbers. It's really about numbers. We know we got money. You're making a living. You might just be above the poverty line, but we can't really traditionally or literally close the wealth gap until we get the entire household on the same tax return. Because that's the thing that is being measured when it comes to every time that wealth gap report comes out, it says household by household. And we just live differently. Some kind of way, we just live by different standards. We will live together 20 years and never file together. I mean, it's just what it is. But speaking of, a real sensitive issue around tax time, fatherhood comes back up, because he done paid you some money, and now he want to file the kids because you can divide it up, and now y'all argue, trying to beat each other to the tax return because you done slipped up and gave him the baby Social Security number. Okay, Tori's gonna get me, y'all. Tori. Evans Barton is in the building. We cannot have a fatherhood. As I already said, we finna divide the Super Bowl couch, because we cannot have a fatherhood discussion without having Tori Evans Barton in the building, and she is part of the fatherless generation. Mm-hmm. So welcome, Tori. Let's give us
thank you. Oh, you just said a mouthful. I'm over here cringing. I'm trying not to say anything.
But I mean, it's a serious time because, you know, I've been there. Like, look, let me go file my taxes because I know he called me, but that tax return back that Social Security number. And I'm like, don't start and I won't be done.
Oh, see, this is not where we wanted to go. I see Yolanda hits me up and says, you know, come on the show and talk about this wealth gap thing. And Mahalia's like, you gonna talk to the? I'm like, I don't even know what we totally talking about yet. But as she's talking, I'm like, oh, she trying to. Yolanda, I'm already getting stabbed on the internet on a daily basis, and you know it. And then you bring me on here when people are like, we ain't talking to her. We gonna act like she don't even exist. Tori J. Evans Barton does not exist in the city of Atlanta to people.
You exist because first and foremost, you are an advocate for fathers.
Yes,
you literally help fathers get quality time with their kids.
I do.
Get recognized for what they've done financially. I mean, they can call you, you get it done.
I do. And what I find very interesting, what you were saying, my husband is going to be like, oh, is she talking and telling all the business? But I do have an 18-year-old now through marriage. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you talk about these things like, okay, we're filing taxes. We've only been married 8 months. So we're trying to determine, do we file together? Do we file separate? What do we do? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he said, you know, I don't file my daughter because, you know, there became this debate early on about the money and who's going to get it and all. Mm-hmm. And he said, just let her have the money. I just let her have the money. I'm not going to be dealing with all of that. Right. And so, you know, you just go, oh, okay, that's cool for me because I wasn't expecting it anyway.
But see, before getting married, you were somebody that the tax system loved. Single.
Yes.
Making good
getting
money.
It all of it.
They taking all your money.
Yes.
And then you hear of some woman or some man, you got 5 kids getting $10,000 refunds just on credit and ain't worked but 2 months. So, you know.
And you're just like, how do you accomplish this? Or my favorite is, you know, using someone else's child's social security number to kind of balance out. And I'm like, y'all can do that? And it's like, yeah, we can do it. No, you just ain't getting caught because you can go to jail for stuff like that. And people don't even think about it. They just do it and keep going. But I'm going to say this. Y'all know I love Yolanda because I am here on Super Bowl Sunday. I done fried 15 pounds of chicken. I came from church. I'm sorry. My husband had to take it to the party where we going. I done made homemade potato skins. And I was like, really? Like, Yolanda, I love this woman. I love this woman because I am here. She said Super Bowl. And I said, wait. Days after I said yes, I was like, that's Super Bowl Sunday.
and a new time slot, right?
Right. I was like, oh, okay, we here. But, you know, when it comes down to the fatherhood and fatherless thing, Yolanda, that's going to be.
That's your passion.
That's my love.
I know that, like I said, we can't have this conversation without you because you've just brought it to another level every time we brought you in. The main reason I asked you in is because when it comes to wealth gap, and we're all still kind of reeling over this verdict that Ludacris has primary custody. And I jumped on Facebook with everybody else, and you were like, hold up, let me give you another scenario. And I was like, okay, well, that is true. We are not at a position to recognize that men have equal rights when it comes to their children. Why are we not there yet?
Mentally, we have seen fathers as something other than a protector and a provider. We do not see them as a nurturer in any way. So when we think mothers, we automatically say the kids need to be nurtured. But the problem is we have too many nurtured children out here and they spoiled as all get out. And then you go, well, why don't they have any discipline? There was no daddy. There was no protector. There was nobody in there to provide a certain kind of way. And so now we have this generation of children running around acting all kinds of way because all they had was the nurturing side of mama.
Right. And here we now have another daughter who has her dad, but we have a problem with it.
Got a serious issue with y'all. Were all on there just going in. They were.
We were. But you're going to break it down for us. In this hour, the great debate has started. We're getting ready to divide the Super Bowl couch. There's so many layers to this, and Tori is the only person that can help us peel them back. Stay tuned for more Dryer Buzz on WAOK.
This is Dr. Charles H. Jackson, Sr. of the Impact Project, encouraging you to be vocal, victorious over cancer and in life, and also listen to The Buzz on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. News and Talk 1380 WAOK and Twilight Productions 2 presents the 9th annual Pre-Valentine Weekend celebration for lovers and friends, Sunday, February 8th at the fabulous Fox Theater, starring Eric Benet. Eric Benet. Get DryerBuzz on SoundCloud and YouTube to hear snippets from the show. It's all about the buzz with DryerBuzz on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
All right, you're welcome back to, DryerBuzz on WAOK. We're getting ready to split the Super Bowl couch. We're going to talk about this thing. I mean, we've got to get to a point where we see fathers on equal footing when it comes to custody of the kids. And this is something you better think about. We done already talked about how y'all screwed up the wealth gap. With all these different scenarios of hashtag households, this one, these friends with benefits, and then the kid is born, and you got to decide. It's just a lot. It's a lot, and we wanted to break it down because I want us to get to the point of respecting fatherhood. Remember we brought Tori in last year. Wow, it's last year when we talked about the epic episodes of Iyanla Vanzant. And we were trying to understand fatherhood. And we know too well the absence of fatherhood, but are we giving a fair shake to those fathers who want to be there? And Tori saw us having conversation online and realized that, hey, these women can't get to a point of understanding that this father has just as many rights to having his kids as the mother. We're talking specifically about the verdict that came down in Ludacris. We also saw a similar verdict in the situation with Usher. A number of high-profile cases, but ordinary dads today, ladies, are saying, hey, I can do just as well, if not a better job, with the children as their mother. Then you got blended families going on. So, now people are looking suspectly at Ludacris and the fact that he got married. Again, we won't even allow that to be a positive. So, we just conflicted in this.
What
let's
that?
Go to Mitchell. Let's go to Mitchell. Hey, Mitchell, thanks so much for calling and supporting the show.
Yolanda.
Yes, sir.
Who is that you have in there with you?
We got a ball going on up here. It's Tori J. Evans Barton. She is the founder and creator of the Fatherless Generation, and she is an advocate for fathers and getting equal time and recognition with their children.
Well, let me tell you something about Tori. She is spitting fire. She has had to have some thunder in her diet because she stopped me directly in my steps. I mean, wow, great show. But let me say something. I really want to talk about the wealth gap, and I really want to talk about dads really quick. There was a study that came out with the Heritage Foundation, and they two important facts that African Americans could close the wealth gap overnight if we didn't have children out of wedlock, number one, and number two, if we were to get married. Think about it, all the vacations that we go on. You very seldom see single people. All the investing classes, big-time vacations, those events are usually occupied by couples.
Right.
Occupied by couples. Now, let me say one thing about the daddy issue. I told my wife, she's seen it because our oldest daughter is 17 years old and we have a 10-year-old. The only thing that you could beat me doing is nursing and doing hair. There's nothing else that you can do. My wife has been she's an unbelievable wife, a wonderful mother, but everything that you basically can do for the girls, I can do. I can cook, I clean, I earn. There's nothing, and you're right about that. I have a friend of mine who got a divorce in Memphis, Tennessee. The young lady's parents came in and testified that he was a better parent for the daughter than their own daughter. So I can understand. So we as guys, we can raise, the ideal situation is to have the mom and the dad together. But you're right about this. My wife said she hopes and prays nothing happens to me because she said our girls would lose it if you were not in their life. And so I'm really enjoying the show. I can't wait to listen to the rest of it. But the economic gap and Ludacris, hey man, if Ludacris is a better parent, he has a more stable household for that young lady. Forget a Ludacris. Forget the young lady. It is all about the child. Can this child grow up to be a productive member of society? Because we all have, how would you say, we all are going to have some counseling sessions, or we all should have some counseling sessions when we get a little bit older. If she has less counseling sessions living with Ludacris than she does with her mother, I'm all for Ludacris having that baby. Hey, Yolanda, thank you for letting me come in on your show.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Mitchell. He called in at 404-892-2703. Like I told you, before the game, we're going to divide up the Super Bowl couch.
What was that look for that you just gave me when he said that? You struggling.
I am struggling because it's almost like if there's a cure for this, do I want it?
No, we don't.
And that's where
we don't.
That's why you have.
I've been the
DryerBuzz.
cure for it,
Right.
and I'm bold enough now to say y'all don't want it.
We don't want it.
Y'all ain't been wanting it. Y'all been rejecting it, but that's okay because some people have embraced it and it's called me to go national. So.
Exactly. And we should be celebrating the fact that there are more cases where men are stepping up, because oftentimes you've said 1,000 times, if you really wanted to spend time with your children, nothing would stop you. We've wanted to see more men fight for this, and now we got brothers who literally got it going on. I'm not even talking about just on the Ludacris level. I'm talking about just good, hardworking brothers having an opportunity to get in there and take care of the kids. We see them walking in the courtrooms, but we still can't be on their side.
And see, that phrase that you just stated, I hate that phrase. You know, if you really wanted to be in your child's life, then there's nothing that can stop you. A judge and a bailiff and threats of jail can stop you. That's a lot to put in front of somebody and say, oh, nothing should be able to stop you. Fathers are really struggling. I'm telling you, Yolanda, I have almost 1,500 calls and emails a month now.
Really?
Most of them are fathers. They're probably the gentleman's mother, sister, or wife. I keep telling you this, I don't get calls from mamas. I might get 2 out of those 1,500. But I'm going to tell you, it is really hard when you are listening to a man on the phone tell you, I spend $30,000 in attorney fees. I make $3,000 a month, but $1,500 of that goes to child support. Then I'm supposed to go back to court because I've already gotten custody of my children, but she still won't let me see them. So I can't afford an attorney at this point to pay to go back to court. So then what do? You still just can't see your children.
That brother is sitting. He's getting ready to try to enjoy the Super Bowl. And now he's hearing Tori on the air. What's the next step? He
needs to call us. He needs to call us. We even have our beautiful, situation where the lines are always available. It's 404-410-6790, or you can call the 1-800 number 1-888-409-7990 because they need that.
Get that posted because we are starting to hear this echo now. These men who are equipped.
Let me give you some numbers. Can I give you some quick numbers? Pew Research says that single father households has increased by 8%.
Right.
So we look at 2.6 million dads are single father households compared to 8.6 mothers. That's a huge gap still, but 2.6 million, that's a huge number. And it's still going up. And it's still going up because they're fighting.
Wow. We got to rush to the phones because we also got to get a tailgate report because I know the Super Bowl is getting ready to start. And we're going to make sure we get Tori back in here. We wanted her to talk a little bit about Ludacris today, but she's going to have to come back on the language of women. All right, I want to go. Let's see what Lee. Let's jump to Lee. Hey, Lee, thanks so much for calling in. What's your comment?
I just wanted to say I support Tori, and I am so thankful that she is out there. I don't know if she's going to post her number and her contact information so that more people can be assisted by her, but I just really want to say thank you for being out there because as a female, I'm married. I really have seen where there are more women to me who are not capable of being good parents. And I am seeing more and more. And I'm also seeing a generation that has been fatherless that they don't realize the need for.
Come on.
And they purposely try to limit the father's contact and don't even know they're being controlling and doing these things.
That's a good one.
I grew up with my dad and my uncles who had their kids. So to me, that whole I don't need a man and I don't want my child's father to be around is foreign. And if I ever heard a woman around me say some foolishness like that, she would get everybody on all my friends. We would say something to her.
Now, let me.
She said you would get, and she kind of checked herself.
Right.
we know it would not be acceptable to even say any foolishness like, I don't want him around, or I'm not going to allow him to see it. You couldn't even say that around me and my group of friends and think you're going to be okay. You would get more than side-eye. You would get a very long discussion.
Wow. Were you conflicted at all, Lee, when the Ludacris verdict came down?
I was happy as I could be.
Wow.
And the thing that got me, because I read your post, and people were saying, oh, he only got married so he could get custody. You know, just like, he's smarter than her because she should have did the same thing.
I love you, Lee. I love you.
I was just like, yo, dumb behind, you sat up there and you're going to raise your child by yourself versus Ludacris who said, I want to give my child, I want my daughter to see a man loving his wife. Not just having a baby by her, and I want to show her that. So he was a better example. She's just gonna date.
She should have did that. Lisa, she should have did. Thank you so much, Lee. Oh my God. I mean, and that's just it. That goes right back to Mitchell. Goes right back to Mitchell. We can close the wealth gap, one, if we just get married. You need to stop having 5, 6, 7, 8 tax returns up in your household and go ahead and put everybody on one. Put everybody on one. When we come back, we're going to talk with Bruce, and we're going to get some Brother Muhammad. And we also got to get Mark Cooper, who's in here live for that final Super Bowl tailgate report before we kick off the festivities. Only place to get the buzz, and that's DryerBuzz on WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Breaking news, sports, weather, and traffic. We're live from the WAOK newsroom on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
AP Update. I'm Ed Donahue. Heavy snow is falling in Chicago. There is a blizzard warning for the region. The storm is moving east. After getting hit last week, New York is bracing for more snow.
The National Weather Service says the first flakes should start falling sometime tonight. Accumulations of 4 to 8 inches are forecast for tomorrow in the city and slightly more in the northern suburbs. The heaviest snow is expected overnight with winds of up to 15 miles per hour. Then around 4 a.m. in the morning, the snow is expected to turn to sleet, freezing rain, and up to 1/4 of an inch of ice. That's the reason the National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning. Julie Walker, New York.
Because of snow, the Ohio Turnpike ban.
Hashtag Atlanta Style with Yolanda Lattimore and DryerBuzz on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
All right, y'all, welcome back. It's DryerBuzz on WAOK. Enjoying the new time slot, getting ready to head out of here and head to the Super Bowl parties and all that kind of stuff. Let me just stop for a minute and just tell everybody, thank you so much for the love and support for hashtag Mama Buzz. A lot going on. I'm actually headed over there when I leave here, and then still going to try to turn up. For the Super Bowl. But Tori J. Evans Barton, because she got married last year.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I'm gonna close the wealth gap on my end.
I seem to be inspiring everybody.
Yes.
But myself. and
Well, hopefully the Super Bowl party you go into might have some brothers that might be.
Don't even put it out there like that.
Oh man,
I'm just gonna chill for a minute. But anyway, Tori's in, and we wanted Tori to come in because a lot of us did not respond appropriately to the Ludacris verdict, and not understanding that men have the same rights. This is something we've been talking about. We've been asking for men to come to the table. Here's the brother. He did step up. But what we want to know is, why did we feel like we had to say now that he has custody that something was wrong with the mother? Why couldn't we see both parents on equal footing going into, this custody situation?
Well, I think it's the language. Like you said, we have a brother who stepped up. Did he step up, or he just did what he was supposed to do?
Right.
We have to watch how we perceive these things and say these things. Men are always wanting to be fathers. I have heard, I don't get them. So don't call me. Don't start calling me. If you don't want to be part of your children's lives, please do not call me. But I don't get fathers who are, I'm thinking I want to be. No, I have fathers who are adamant, who I've had 2 guys this past week who were like, I don't have a chance to see my children. They moved away. I have custody, but I can't can't build. This money situation is an issue based on child support and all I spend in court fees. I'm on the verge of committing suicide. I have them. They call me anytime they need to talk at this point. Anytime. They haven't paid me one penny. I don't want a father committing suicide ever again based on the fact that he can't see his children. And I'm going to tell you, when you say, why do we have an issue with it? We have an issue with it because fathers seem to be irrelevant to us.
Ooh, Tori, don't.
Too many have grown up without them. So then you don't understand what it's like to have one. So you then say, well, I'm good without him. Although you know you're not good. You won't even tell people you're not good. You'll sit and say, I'm good, knowing that you're not. And so fathers have become irrelevant to us. And so when a father gets custody, we're looking for all of the reasons why he shouldn't have had custody. Well, what was that? Oh, no, he got custody because he married this chick early. How should she feel? Now y'all on the internet making this chick feel some kind of way about being in love with the man that she loves and marrying this man. You guys are putting all kinds of stuff out there. And that's because we have not had the presence of husbands, real husbands. What I don't need y'all to step up. I need you guys to be visible. I need a platform for you to talk about how you love your wives, how you love your children. That's what we're looking for. We have diminished that whole aspect, fatherhood and husbands, to be honest.
All right. To be continued, because we got to take some calls. I mean, I never have been able to argue with you. I just literally have to agree. My daughter came to me just the other day and had said she'd had a conversation with her father, and we got into the point why I never really said anything negative about him. I said, because I knew that you would have a different relationship with him than I did. And there would come a time when you guys needed to have your relationship, and I just needed to stay out of it. And that's why, and I've always said to them, my daughters, is like, there's going to come a time when you'll need to be there for him, and that time is upon us. And now they can look at him through their own eyes, form their own opinions, and I don't have any guilt feelings about it because I just really kind of stayed out of it. All right, we got some very serious and passionate callers on the line wanting to speak. Let's go to Bruce. Bruce, thanks so much for calling and supporting the show.
Hey, how you doing today?
Awesome. What you got for Tori?
Man, I am so honored. This is my first time listening to your show, and I'm just blown away. I'm just so blown away of hearing this topic. You know, men's like myself, I can only talk on a personal basis with many men that I know that took care of their children because the mother failed to be a mother. They just wanted to be a woman instead of a mother. They want to enjoy all the women things they do, but they didn't want to become a mother. So I had to change the way that I thought and the things I needed to do. And I said, well, you know, I got to be a father. And so I took care of my kids, and then I got to a point where that when you are into your fatherhood and you're doing everything you need to do for your daughters, taking them to cheerleading, finding dance classes, you start meeting other people. And then when people see what you're doing, because most of the time it's just me as a father that's there. And then you start finding out people calling you about their children and
so you've had to kind of become a mentor. Is that
man with many children, many children, because I'm finding out even more now. There's a lot of women that I've met inside different neighborhoods that they don't want to be mothers no more. They still want to do a lot of partying. They rather get their hair and nail done no matter if they don't have no more money left. And their children are suffering. And I brought children in my home year after year until they say, well, you know, I want my kid back, because I couldn't call defects because I've been there before as a child.
So you knew a child going into the system is not often the best thing.
It's not an option, but I just think that we're more caught up into a society want us to be because of all of these videos, these reality shows. And there's a lot of kids that have grew up. We are going into our 13th generation of drug use. You know, normally inside a society, drugs were like, you know, kind of skip a generation, or people will do something new, and then it probably come back around again in a trend. But in the black community, we have a long, hard hitting of drugs that really affected the way that I believe that women's are, because I go into the store and I see more women getting blunts than I ever seen before. Their whole mentality is changing, more of a harder approach. And I asked one lady, I said, why do I always see women getting blunts now more than ever before? I mean, it become a way of life, and that changed the way they think, what they're wanting in life, and how they treat their children. And this is what I'm seeing as a father that took care of 3 girls, took in 2. I took in a 1.5-year-old boy. He's 5-year-old now. Here in Atlanta, he was crippled. I mean, still crippled. And then I've got 3 other kids that had came to me 6 months ago, and I just can't say no. They're just me.
Now, and Tori, you can kind of comment on some of that, because I was about to say to him, "Wow, you really stepped up." But
men are men. Men are courage. When you say man, look it up. Look up what words mean. Men are courageous. Men are strong. That's what men do. Men don't step up. Men are doing what they're supposed to do.
Man, I wish you got out of church early, Tori.
Y'all just go to my website, tfgf.org. I'm sorry, I got to serve at church.
All right, I know. We got to figure this thing out, this early show, and make sure we do.
I just go to early service next time. Just let me know.
Stick around. We got to talk tailgate report. We clearly have divided the Super Bowl couch, so a little bit more with Tori. We're gonna bring in Mark Cooper and get you guys, pumped up for the Super Bowl game. Hey, it's the Buzz. It's DryerBuzz on WAOK.
It's your boy Big Sweet of the ATL Falcoholics. Even when I'm rising up at the Georgia Dome, I'm listening to DryerBuzz Sundays, 4 to 7 p.m. on News and Talk Radio, 1380 WAOK.
Call us at 404-892-2703 on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Get DryerBuzz on SoundCloud and YouTube to hear snippets from the show. It's all about the buzz with DryerBuzz on News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
All right, y'all, welcome back. It's DryerBuzz on WAOK, the lightning round. We got to get to wrap up because I hear the game is about to get started, and we cannot send you off with the final tailgate report of the football season. But Tori J is still in. She is on the social media because y'all done hit her up.
Yeah.
So that they can follow you. Give everybody the Twitter so we can tweet you.
Okay, the Twitter handle is the letter R, fatherless, and then my personal is I am Tori J, TORRIJ.
All right, let's go quickly. We got Brother Muhammad, and he's got a comment. All right, Brother Muhammad, jump in here for me.
I first greet you, women and ladies in the words of peace and paradise and everything. Assalamu alaikum. I'm a brother of 62 years maturity, and I recognize that we are not being cultured or rented for the benefit of our people. Now, culture means discipline. Now, if we will allow our elderly people to continue to have the way to speak and talk to the younger people, and if you who are most learned, you talked about LeBron James, and I thought about Michael Jordan. Those younger people are not even taking their resources to try to aid the man that need help, have access to jobs. You talk about women's 8%, maybe be the head of household, but in Atlanta we got 6%. But yet those women need people to give them access to monies and the opportunities so they can take care of their children. When the men's about 50% unemployed. So the bigger problem is when you get ready for the Super Bowl, ask some of them more that got the wealth. We got $1 trillion. Why don't they try to come back and produce manufacturing of companies for clothes and shoes and hire some of those men? And there would be a way to give them income that they can take care of their children. And don't dog the man. The man needs some love. The sister needs some love.
All right, thank you so much, Brother Muhammad. Franklin, what's your comment for Tori and fatherhood?
Hey, how you doing, Miss DryerBuzz? This is outstanding program.
Thank you, darling.
I'm going to give a phrase out, and people need to look it up. The reason there's so much blowback by our present generation against fathers. It's called cognitive dissonance, DISSONANCE. In other words, the American culture has directed a core value at the African American community that the fathers really aren't needed, that they are useless, that the black male is criminal, he's a thug. So that has been instilled into the black community, along with many of the other negative images and thoughts about the African American male. And when that particular core value, which has been cultivated and nurtured in the American society, there's a strong fight against the reality of that a father is needed in the home. And the church is one of the problems with that, because there are so many single mothers in the church, and the church can't come out directly and say, hey, we need fathers in the homes, because it will impact the tithes and the offerings as well as the women in the church. It will cause confusion. And see, all this has been orchestrated by our culture against the African American male.
Thank you so much. Hot topic, Franklin, for helping us wrap it up. Tori, we got to get ready to go to the Super Bowl, and you have split the Super Bowl couch right down the middle. We thought it was wings versus ribs, but now, you got these guys. And this conversation, we're going to try and continue this. We're going to try and get Tori to come by the After Work Network mixer, because, y'all, we are adding great debates to the mixer. That's going to be a part of it. You get to debate your favorite host. So definitely look for DryerBuzz on WAOK. And join News and Talk 1380 WAOK Wednesday, February the 4th. We're going to be over at the Sweet Auburn Seafood. So when you leave Cubicle Nation, just jump on the ATL streetcar and get off at the Auburn Piedmont and come on over to Sweet Auburn's Seafood. Tori's going to be back there talking with some of these fathers. And how do you come in here and just set it on fire like that, Tori?
It's not my fault. It's just what I've learned. It is my passion. And let me say this before we go off. Any attorneys out there, all fathers can't be, or hire a Ludacris attorney. So we need you guys to come volunteer. We just ask you to do one case a year. That's all we ask you to do. So there's plenty in Atlanta. So come on out and just, support us and help these fathers get custody rights of their children.
And you say now, fathers, they literally just pick up the phone and call you and say, Tori, this is my situation. What is the basic scenario, the most common? What's the most common?
They don't have enough money to keep going to court. They run out of money. Some of them don't even know how to go to court. That's the other piece.
All right. Now, to help you come back on the same side of the room, get back on the same side. We didn't want to divide you up too much. So Tori's going to meet us at the After Work Network. We're going to bring her back in for the language of women, because clearly, ladies, we got to figure out why, when we were talking fatherhood and looking at this Ludacris situation, why we could not see this man on an equal playing field as a parent. But it is time to turn up the final Super Bowl tailgate report. Mark Cooper is in the building.
It's your boy Big Sweet of the ATL Falcoholics. Check it in with the Atlanta Falcons tailgate report here on WAOK 1380 on your dial. Where my real Falcon fans at? Red and black, stand up, rise up.
On News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Cooper.
Hey, what's going on, Yolanda? What's going on? Thank you for letting me have a little corner of the couch.
Hey, let me just tell you, I've been laughing. We tried to discuss Deflategate.
Oh, yeah.
That was a funny segment. But hey, it's Super Bowl. We're at the end of the season, and Falcons are going to be welcoming a new coach.
New coach tomorrow. Look for the press conference. I don't know what time they're going to have it, but look for it tomorrow. Dan Quinn is scheduled to be slated as the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, ushering in another exciting era. We've been with Mike Smith for 7 years, and we got used to him, so now we got a new guy coming, bringing that energy, hopefully taking us to the top, to the Super Bowl, get his new stadium opened up,
Ooh, this coach is coming into $1 billion stadium. We probably going to make some serious moves on the field.
Serious moves,
because, we got to do something on what, defense,
Got to
right?
do something on defense.
Got to do something on defense, so he need to come with it.
Yep.
But in a few hours, the players are going to take the field for another Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, Seahawks.
Again,
Patriots.
more controversy.
More controversy. At least we got to thank Marshawn Lynch for getting Deflategate off the airways for the week. He was just here not to get fined.
He was like,
know what y'all
Marshawn was like, y'all got 3 minutes
y'all
to
got
look
3
at me.
minutes, got 2. Shout out Oakland. Well, let me give a shout out to Loch Lomond, Cascade. I'm going to do the Marshawn Lynch.
Right. Shout out ATL Falcoholics.
That's right.
Shout out to everybody that allowed us to jump on the bandwagon for the Atlanta Falcons. You guys did a great job.
We enjoyed it all season. Thanks for having me all season.
All season long. And we got to get on this bandwagon with these Hawks, though. But everybody seems to be going. I did a poll on Facebook. Who you with?
Yeah.
Seahawks is pulling everybody.
Well, they're the one for the people. But, I tell you this like this. I once said that Bill Belichick was the mad scientist and the evil genius. And what I realized is the Patriots have now become the Oakland Raiders of the 70s. So I tell you what, today, I'm going with the Oakland Raiders of my generation. I'm going with the Patriots.
You going to go with the Patriots
I'm
today?
telling you, Deflate Gate, they don't like Bill Belichick. How many more chips do you need on your shoulder to go out and wreak havoc?
Right.
And
what was the other? Deflategate, Spygate, and
Spygate,
something else.
everything. Anything they can. Well, now guess what?
What?
Even the Falcons made the coverage on Super Bowl.
I
don't know if you heard.
I heard it. What was it? It's a new game.
They're accusing my team of pumping in artificial noise.
As if y'all not loud enough.
I lose my voice every home game. I lose my voice every home game. So it's unbelievable. And some folks say, well, they accuse you of cheating and you only went 10-22. But that's okay though. My section was loud, But Super Bowl Sunday, you got the Seahawks, you got the Patriots, you got the good versus the evil.
Right.
The hot defense, the hot offense, you're in for a treat. Katy Perry at halftime.
Here's the big question. The big question of the night.
Go ahead.
How fast can we hit you off with the honey-do list after the Super Bowl?
You got to give me at least a week.
Lord Jesus.
You got to give me a week. For me, I've been going.
You've been going.
So you got to give me at least a week. I got to sleep till Wednesday. Present the list to me Thursday, and then I get to looking at it around Saturday. How about that?
And so Sunday you be on the road.
Sunday I'll be on the road.
All right, fellas. Mark done put y'all on the hook. We're going to let y'all sleep till Wednesday, give you the list, but next Sunday when there's no football, y'all have got to get to this honey-do list.
All right.
And the first thing on the honey-do list is DryerBuzz on WAOK. New time slot, 1 to 4 p.m. We got to try to get on this bandwagon with these Hawks. So, we're going to have to figure out.
Big.
We're going to have to figure out how to do this. Don't forget our editorial schedule. We always talk about this wealth gap on the first Sunday. I know the preachers going to ask y'all to get your tithes and everything in, but we got to talk about this wealth gap. And then on second Sunday, we have the language of men. Now, don't forget, next weekend is Valentine's, not day, but Valentine's weekend. It's going all weekend long, and we got the ultimate great debate. And then, of course, as you know, Tori done shut it down in here today. We're going to try to get her back with the language of women, and that's the third Sunday. And then the fourth Sunday, we're always arts and culture. Only one place to get the buzz behind the buzz. Follow me right now to DryerBuzz.com. The conversation continues after the show with hashtag DryerBuzz on WAOK. And meet me over at the WAOK Facebook fan page. And let's keep it tweeting and chatting all night long. Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. Do it responsibly. If you're having too much of a good time, make sure you are safe when you get on those roads. Everybody have a wonderful week. And tune in all week to News and Talk 1380 WAOK.
News and Talk 1380 WAOK. WAOK Atlanta.